And now I need to establish a military here as well, because I can cross over and interact with the guy up there, or the enemy across the river. Now, I'm not going to be militaristic, I want to be friendly, I want to make money, right? Because, trade, friends. So, let's say, okay buddy, let's make money together. And, because my enemy is a panicky sort as well, he'll make his own little military. Now, that's a lot of steps. And I'm thinking, rather than just basically floss, rinse, repeat for each of these things, and because conceivably, if this is just, landscape, and it's just there's not much land, separating, this could be done in months, not, years, as what's happening right now. So, day by day turns, I really think you should go for that. But in my opinion, what could have happened, or what should happen, is the player says, okay, I want there to be a headquarters building because I'm now going to expand the authority of this, or of my kingdom, or like of my capital, I mean to say. So what that means is that this land now falls under the jurisdiction of the capital, and because the capital has so many buildings, and you could say, like, there's going to be a certain hierarchy of buildings that are going to be fall kind of more into the strategic element. But what I mean is that a little state is formed by joining these two counties, and so you could say, like, little separation, so for those two. Now these two, bam, they can form their own little county as well. And what that means is that, okay, so you want to establish a county headquarters, a county seat, or I mean a state headquarters, a state seat. What would make more sense? Well, right here, where the river, or the river delta and the port exists. So that means that you establish that headquarter building right here, and you say, okay, check it out. I want you to basically, or I want this state seat to have control and influence over this county as well. And for the heck of it, because I'm a conquering sort, I'm going to move my army, bam, into that territory as well. So I'm further expanding the road network, and my population centers as well. Because the thing is, you can say, okay, I want there to be a population here, but you have to basically like justify the population being there, or like the population has to go there. So in this case, there's nothing here really. Like, this is just wooded, empty land. What you're going to do? Well, you say, I'm going to make something just spectacular out there. I'm going to put in some industry out here. I'm going to, because there's all this wood here, so you can put a lumber camp. And what I'm envisioning is that, okay, in your capital city, you recruit an army of soldiers, or not army of soldiers, army of workers, and say, hey, you're just a bunch of workers. You have a certain skill level because of the population, training and whatever's going on in my capital. I want you guys to move over here and build stuff. You're going to augment the population in this community, but you're also going to be a mobile workforce. So I also need to look after you because you don't operate like a military. So you have all these historical examples of the military leaders like Alexander the Great, or not Alexander the Great, Alexander the Great of Russia. These guys who they would go out and they would just build tons of stuff. employ all these workers, and even in China do the same thing, and all these people just die. Um, so that's something to consider. And with a day by day, it now becomes more imperative. Like, oh, hey, now I really want to gamble. Do I want to ruin my reputation by killing a bunch of workers, but to get something done, um, which is going to be dictated by what sort of personality I have, and that's how people are going to react to me. But that's dictated by how you control the land. So what structures you create dictates the land you create. So that's something else I'm really thinking about is that, okay, this is your land, this is where you control and rule things from your throne. This is your mercantile center, and so you're going to want to build things here that are going to uh, keep the people at peace and keep the people loyal. And I was thinking that one of the options you could have available to you, and this would also be like something that either a spy or an assassin could do is, well, let's say like as soon as you took over here, or before your army moved out and took over this piece of land, you realized the significance of this piece of land, and you said, okay, I'm going to have my spy go out and build a religious shrine. So it's going to be a fake religious shrine. Now, something else about religious shrines I'm thinking is that a religious shrine can exist out in the middle of nowhere, and conceivably somebody could live out there. There could be reasons people are living out around there. It's a perfect place for a spy to just go and hang out, and the spy can just exist there and not be found out, not be you know hassled or anything this or that. Um, I'm thinking that'd make a real interesting gameplay element. Because now you can say, okay, I want a spy to either construct something or to go to a real one and just do something there, or just like hide out there. That way the spy can, spy traffic. Now, something interesting about a shrine is that it's going to have an effect on the local population. It's also going to affect the local economy as well as the people's sentiment, feelings towards, the guy in charge. So, at any point, the local people could realize, oh, this shrine is a fake, or the enemy could send a spy over, investigate, and the spy will say, hey, this shrine is a fake. And they perhaps do the same with religious figures. So the skill level of the spy would dictate, how well the fake, shrine is. So that's just like another gameplay element I'm thinking of. Alright, so let's talk about this little rebel faction up here. I'm thinking, okay, you can have, one rebel faction size, one,